Can you just give a round of appreciation? I'm going to ask those mission team members that are joining this service. I've already pointed you out. Just join them on the platform. Continue to clap your hands for them. Yeah, come on, we could do, come on, make them feel special and celebrated. Amen, come on. Yeah. Don't stop, come on. They're still coming. Let's make room for them. Well, PLC, this is just a small portion of the group that went to Belize with us this year. There was a total of 48 missionaries. No, you don't understand what that means, and I know so many of you were so dialed in, plugged in, whether it was on social or otherwise. How many of you had the privilege of being able to buy at least one backpack? We could not have done this without you, so we want to celebrate each one of you, but today we get to kind of hear a little bit from this team. They'll do a quick introduction, maybe share a little bit about themselves or their name, how many times you've been on the mission field, maybe a special moment you experienced it. So as they share, make sure we celebrate them and give them a round of applause. So one more time, celebrate, and we'll start wherever.
Hi everyone, my name is Ari. I think this is my 7th time going, 8th maybe, I'm not sure. But I was able to be a team leader, and I was on the media team during this mission trip.
Hi everyone, my name is Janae. This is my 7th time going, I think. I was able to be on the Ministry of Movement and just help out with the kids. Yeah.
Hey everyone, my name is Sally. This is actually my first year in Belize. And it's special to me because my family is actually from Belize. And so, yes, this was very, very touching to me. I was able to serve as logistics and scheduling coordinator.
Hi everyone, my name is TJ. This is my first time going to Belize, and I was able to serve as a station leader. I did Bible discovery, teaching the kids a Bible story, so yeah.
Good morning, my name is Roland Alons. I was able to serve in all areas. Prayer and all. That was my 2nd time to Belize. I believe it's gonna be the 2nd of 20 times.
Hi everyone, I'm Reggie, and this was my first time going to Belize. I was always the one dropping them to the airport and saying bye and holding the air like that, but had a great time. Had the great opportunity to deliver a word, and also I was the lead for all things virtual reality, as far as like Oculus and stuff like that. So there you go.
Hi, my name is Gary Nalons. My first time in Belize, but other part of the world, known also as Mama G. Yes, so I was able to serve in art and crafts, and we made lanterns. So I'll tell you later about the lanterns.
Hey everyone, my name is Neff. This is my first time going to Belize. Had an amazing time. I got the opportunity to serve in transportation, in worship, and I also had the opportunity to bring the word in Belize. So I'm very grateful for that.
Hello, everyone. My name is Stephanie, and this was my 2nd time to Belize, and I got to be a part of registration. That was a lot.
Hello, everyone. My name is Thad Alance, the child of him, her. Also known as Mr. T. I pity a fool who doesn't believe in God. No, let me stop. But I served as the lead for AV for the first time, and this is my first time in a year. So it was actually a great experience. Let me know if I should be a part of the AV team.
Hi, my name is Caleb. This is my 6th or 7th time going to Belize. I mostly served in outdoor play area, but I was also a little bit of everywhere while I was in Belize, helping wherever I could.
Hey everybody, how y'all doing? This was amazing. So I'm Davida Shepherd. This is my church. And yeah, he's starting stuff well. I'm so glad to be in Belize. My first time in Belize, first time on a missions trip with my church, first time with this family, and it was amazing. I got to serve in worship. I taught a little. I sweated a lot. A lot. Oh, it was amazing. It was really good.
And she attacked people, but we'll talk about that later.
Talk about that later. We'll talk about that later, Reg. Thank you.
Let's talk about that now.
Well, it all started with Caleb. No, I'm just playing.
One of the things we got to do, even in our first service, we got to hear different aspects, maybe some of your most memorable moments, your funniest moment. But it's really great to hear individually, what were some of the experiences that were notable to you? Anyone can answer this.
Oh, well, the most notable experience for me is looking at the children's faces as they smile. So that really warmed my heart to that just let us know that, God is really working, And no matter what we dealt with, we've dealt with a lot in this journey, in this trip. But even though we've dealt with a lot, God is still working no matter what, And it was just a blessing to see all those kids' faces with smiles, letting them know that they had food, that they had a backpack, that they were loved, that they were really loved, And seeing them leave with that smile too just put joy in my heart, And that's what resonated with me the most.
I would definitely say, first of all, we have the best pastors ever. That's the first thing. Because anybody, no, seriously, y'all don't know who y'all have here. You do not see pastors in the trenches, in the dirt, in the mud, and in the thick of it. They are usually visionaries. They cast it. But these 4 hands and 4 legs never sat down. So we're grateful for that. But the impartation that the pastors received, I saw Mom laying hands on the pastors, and just to see they needed strength. They needed a second wind. Some of them needed to believe again. And so it was the vision that Pastor had to not just pour into the kids, but to pour into these leaders and to really inspire them and give them hope again. I just felt there was a transfer of hope. There was a transfer of expectation. And we gave them the goods. We gave them a taste of what we do every Sunday. And so that was so good. And the kids, oh my God, there was so many kids, y'all. I'm never having any kids for that reason, but thank y'all. I'm good on it for 2 years. But yeah, seriously, it was such an impartation just to see the kids worshiping God. And it was just beautiful.
I would say that a highlight for me was, yes, bringing the bags and being present there was awesome, but the team that we went with was amazing. We went through so much adversity, but we stuck together. And part of making God known is not just in our giving or our presence, but it says our love that we show for one another. That's how we make him known. Amen. So we really showed up in that way. So that was definitely a highlight for me, serving amongst the team that's here.
So I have two. So the first one was when I was outside on, I think it was maybe the second to last day of VBS. Some kid came up to me that I don't even remember, and they say, "Hey, I remember you. You played tag with us." I was like, and then I was like, "Hey, how are you?" And in my head, I was like, "Who are you?" like, but then 4 more kids came, and I was like, "I don't know who you are, but hi, how are you?" And then we played tag. We did the relay race for outdoor play, and my second one is on the last day when we were giving out backpacks. When a kid got their backpack, they ran to their mom and say, "Mom, I got a backpack. I can't believe it." So that was really a noticeable moment for me.
One of the things I wanted to point out just about this amazing team is the heart of everyone. So even though, they worked so hard. I cannot tell you guys how hard they worked, but the love was evident amongst you all, not just for each other, but for Christ. It was one of the days we encountered someone who was homeless. He was living on the streets for, he said, about 10 years. And, as a team, we were there, a few of us was there, and we began to engage in conversation. And, we looked at his feet, and I was like, "Hey, do you need sneakers?" And he said, "I don't want to wear shoes. It would be too hard for me to wear shoes." He's gotten so accustomed to walking barefoot that he said it would hurt his feet to wear shoes. But what touched me the most is that there wasn't one man on our team that was present that didn't offer up their footwear. They all came at different moments, and their initial reaction was, "Hey, I'll give you my sneakers. I'll give you my sneakers." Not even thinking about, well, what am I wearing back to the hotel? It was just like, "I'll give you my sneakers." But his response was, "Hey, I wouldn't do it. It'll be too painful." So sometimes it's the simple things that we take for granted, as simple as, wait, we wear shoes and we complain when they hurt, right, ladies? We're like, "Ow, it's a little tight." And here it is, him saying that he can't even wear them because his feet has become so accustomed to walking barefoot. But I thank God for a team that's willing to give of what they have when they see lack in someone else, right? So I want you guys to talk about just that moment on the trip that maybe you said to yourself, "I know I got to do this again." Y'all better all have a yes to that. It can't be a final, like, "Oh, this is my last mission." But when was that moment where you just had that, "Wow, this is something I want to make part of my yearly routine"?
So for me, I think it was the last day, the Friday. We went, I've seen previous videos where the team came together and they didn't have VBS there, but they painted the school that was there. And the journey to get there, it was like the narrow road, the road not taken, the road nobody wants to take. Because if you don't look at the road, you could literally break your car down in 50 feet. And the drivers, I want to give a shout out to all the drivers, because it was just, they came together and they were driving on these roads, and it was just like, what? There's a one point where Brian was in a van with a trailer attached, and the van was loaded with PLC folks, and the hill was like this. And we were over here, so we could see like on top of his van, and you could see him trying to gun it up this hill, because if he doesn't, like, it can go backwards. Like, and this is like a legit thing. And so shout out to them. But that last day, it felt like missions.
So not when you were pushing the van.
It was like, not when he was pushing the van. It's like, not when he was doing the other thing, but it was, because it was such a, it was like, we call it the boonies when some places really far out. It was like boonies times 10. And when you get there, it's like, wow, there's a community out here. There's a community of people in this place. Like, but there's no roads. But like, or like the nearest store is miles away. Like, you can't walk this. Like, and you see that there's a need. But the only thing is, you see still happiness in their eyes. And it really humbled me because I said, as much as we can come in and see that there's a need here, they're still grateful and still utilizing what's in their hands. Yes. And I said, wow, because it makes me now, like, if there's times where I may open my cupboards and it may not be as full as I wanted. But I say, well, what a problem to have. My cupboard's not as full as I wanted. Where they may be opening their cupboards and it may not be anything in there. So it really struck to the heart of me and just kind of humbled me and just reminded me of, one, why we do this, why we need to continue doing this, and also just to be grateful for even my own household.
Yeah. So, Reg, I'm glad you added that part. I did speak with a parent who said, we are in poverty, but I love my country, so they really know how to use what they have. And it did allow me to, just be a lot more grateful, not a little grateful, just a lot more grateful for how God has blessed us here. But one thing that I want to highlight to answer your question, I remember when we went to the square and we had a plan to minister to people and ask, how can I pray for you? But because of the schedule, we didn't get the opportunity to do it in the way that we wanted to. And so even though we were giving out backpacks and being resourceful to people, I felt like I wasn't doing enough. And it's that moment for me that made me say, I have to come back. Because I know that despite all the things we're doing, there's more. There's more.
If I would say, the highlights for me were having the children with art and crafts, building lanterns, and drawing the faces when they saw that little light. And then the two scriptures on that lantern craft was John 8:12. You are the light of the world. Whoever follows me, Jesus said he's the light of the world. Whoever follows me will not walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. And the second scripture is in Matthew 5, verse 14. You are the light of the world, a city built to be seen, not to be unseen. So having them know that they are the light of the world, that they will light up their community. And by us going there, your hands, your feet were there when you send or you adapt, you must adapt a luggage or a backpack. They were able to receive that and then be a light in their community. And as we build up the lantern, and for those who speak Spanish, the theme was Rise and Shine. Levantamos y brillar para la gloria de Dios. Tú es un luz en su comunidad, en su escuela, en parte de la tierra, todo parte de la tierra. Tú es un luz. Brilla para la gloria de Dios. Amén.
Now, hold on a second.
Listen.
We've been struggling with translators all week.
Be the light of the world. Rise and shine. Be the light of the world in your community, in your school, wherever you go, any part of the world. That's what it was. The light that shines on the city hill.
Mama D, we've been struggling with interpreters all weekend.
All week.
And you had all of this language inside of you. Now, we've been struggling with these interpreters all week. I mean, they couldn't understand us, and here you go just speaking another language today.
Joe, so, on that Sunday, we was, going to different churches to minister. And, we went to the first service, and, Nefa preached an amazing message, and I was just like, wow, this is great. And I said, okay, great. Is like, he raised a song at the end, and everyone just understanding the words coming out of his mouth. So it was like, okay, we have to go to the next service. I'll be speaking at this service, and I get there, and I was like, why is no one speaking English? And I was like, Pastor said there's gonna be a translator there, but I thought maybe I don't even know, but I was just like, there's no English happening at all. And that really changed and shifted how the word was even communicated and how you have to use everything, the limbs and your eyes and everything just to get that word and message out. So I thought that was pretty funny and amazing at the same time. Had a whole translator.
All right, I want to talk about some God moments because we had quite a bit of those. Yeah, so let's talk about that. Anyone want to jump at that? Some God moments.
I'll talk about a God moment. We were in, I think it was Wednesday night, and we were in worship. And in the middle of the worship flow, first of all, we just feel the presence of the Lord. I love how God just simplified our sound for his sound to come in the room. And so while we're ministering to the Lord, this beautiful girl just gets up and starts to prophetically motion. I don't even call it dance, because he was moving through her, and I mean, she was with God. And so that literally took my breath away that night. And then I think Imani caught some imagery, and just to see her, like she was, I don't know what she was saying, but she was with God. So that was a sacred moment, because she had more expression than the adults. And immediately I thought of the scripture, when you come to me, come as a child. They're not thinking of anything else but being with God. They connected with the presence of God, and that was beautiful. The other part that I would, this is why I would do it again. I would sit in VBS teaching in the children's class again. When I tell you this was steak and potatoes served to the kids, these teachers, y'all can clap it up for every teacher, every instructor, because I was blown. I never get to go to Kid City, so I don't know what's happening down there. I just know our kids are filled with the Holy Ghost. These teachers got the oil of Jesus, and they are biblically literate, like they're teaching them the word. I was like, oh my God, this is Bible. Like, I was so blown away. I sat in all 3 sessions, and it's like, what are you supposed to be doing? I think I'm supposed to be learning this. I learned more about Paul in all those 3 sessions than, it was just amazing. But we did not give them the truth of the word. And so I want to admonish and thank every leader for leading well. Every leader that went really, really led well. And these kids were really ministered to. The adults were ministered to. And this church is different, y'all. This is different ground. And so I was just so grateful to be a part of that. But those are my 2 God moments.
For me, it was learning that AV, being a part of the AV team, is a form of worship, because at first, at first it was pretty difficult, I didn't know how to set up. Pastor taught me everything. Me and my boy Ash is in Belize right now, but he taught us how to set up everything, and how to operate it. And it was difficult, something goes wrong, power cuts out. The power cut out 2 times. 2 times. And everyone looked at me, You have all the little kids, all the parents in the back looking at me. One guy, And it was frustrating, Like I'm gonna be real. It was frustrating because having all that weight on your shoulders, to lead the AV, sound, mic check, piano. Shout out to Alex, man. Shout out to Alex. Yeah, because Alex did a great job. Not only playing, God was going through his fingers, literally, quite literally, but he was patient with me too, knowing that I'm new in this experience. Thank you, Alex, for that. But I think it was Wednesday night. Yeah, Wednesday night we were packing up from Galvez Stadium, and I was frustrated. Because my form of worship is like you guys. You guys like dancing. You guys like singing, right? And it was frustrating because I can't do that, while doing the AV. I was frustrated putting it away at a well, in Creole we call it fâché, which is like angry face. I had a fâché face. I was like. And I had that face, and Pastor pulled up. Pastor was like, "What's going on?" I was like, I can't worship the way I want to." And he was like, "You think you're not worshiping, but you really are." Because in order for them to be heard throughout the mics, they're worshiping, but you're amplifying it, And that's a form of worship. And that let me know that even though I may think that I'm not doing worship, I'm still glorifying God through my worship. That's it, really.
Yeah, I love that. And I just want to share, I just love how God looked out for us on this trip. You know, we had our plans. We thought we had it all figured out. And, you know, he just had to trip us up every now and then, so we had to lean on him. And I'll share this quickly. You know, I mean, many of you saw we lost not one but 2 vehicles. It's 50 people. Like, we were like, what are we going to do? Monday night came, and we knew we had a long trip, a 3.5-hour drive to go into this town. And we're scrounging, trying to find vans to rent. Nothing was working out. We ended up renting a 47-passenger bus. And it was at an expense, but that's a whole nother story because God just, I mean, the money came. Like, the money came. Like, we're going to leave that alone, but the money came, right? But on top of that, after doing this trip, we all sat on the bus and looked at each other coming back like, if we had to make this drive to go back home, like, I don't know if we would have made it. Like, we were so burnt out. So I love how Daddy just came in like, Streets, you think you know what you're doing, but I'm going to mess this up a little bit. I'm going to break down not one because you're still not listening. You still trying to make it work. I'm going to take 2 of your vans, you know? And he worked it out where we were able just to sit back, and that entire bus was just knocked out. With the exception of Reggie, he kept the driver up for the ride.
Yeah, Reggie.
Kept the driver up. But God is so good. And, you know, I do want to thank you all for giving your backpacks. We thought we had it all planned out. We did backpacks and supplies. We got there. We actually had to separate the backpacks from the supplies because we had too many kids. So some got backpacks and some had to get supplies. And once again, Daddy just worked it out where we could do that. So every kid was able to be blessed with something. Yeah. Any last thoughts?
So I just wanted to highlight one thing. You know, in my head, missions was going to begin when we got to Belize. But when I saw Sister Walletta and a few others praying with people in the airport, that messed me up. I said, okay, missions starts right now. And so just for us to understand that when we are going on this mission trip, we don't have to wait till we get over to another country. It's happening here. It starts now. There's people in need of the God that's in you. So